Don't Starve Together is a multiplayer survival game, and as such, the player base has sort of diverged into multiple stereotypes. In today's video, we're going to talk about each and every one that I have come across in my journeys of playing and hosting servers on this lovely game, as well as ones that I've heard about. And no, this won't be character stereotypes, I already covered that in an early video. This is playstyle stereotypes. If you've met someone or are friends with someone who aligns with one of these stereotypes, be sure to subscribe and like, and hey, if you don't know anyone who aligns with it, well, it might just be you. Before we start though, just in case this isn't obvious, this video isn't meant to be taken seriously, and is more so meant to be a jab at some of the common playstyles you'll find within the game. Let's be real, everyone who plays Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together are awesome because they support our favorite developers. With all that said, and that's out of the way, let's get mean. Starting first with the solo player. These guys tend to main Windy, Wolfgang, or WX78, and you'll hardly ever catch them on a public server. Whether it's due to social anxiety, lack of friends who actively play Don't Starve Together, or the more sinister of the three reasons. They simply feel like people get in the way too much, and they don't want to take care of a bunch of base Wilsons, but there will be more on that stereotype later. On the rare occasion you do find a solo player on a public server, they will usually branch off from the rest of the group and you'll never, and I mean never, see them again. They'll base in the most absurd spots just to stay away from others. These guys honestly would probably still be playing Don't Starve single player if it wasn't a dead game. I would rank these guys and give my opinion on them, but it's like they don't exist, so they get the special tier of I literally do not know. Moving on, we have the base Wilsons. Not to be conflicted with the other base stereotypes that we will talk about on this list who are far more useful to the group, base Wilsons will usually unsurprisingly play, you guessed it, Wilson, as they are almost always comprised of new and inexperienced players. They'll join servers, ask where base is, and then proceed to pseudo AFK while munching on the food others bring home and providing little to no value to the group. This stereotype is so common that the "where's base" meme has been around for ages within the Don't Starve community, and it's tied to this group of players in particular. Many base Wilsons will eventually evolve into a different stereotype, probably after being kicked from the 37th server for being quote-unquote unhelpful and a leech on group resources. But yeah, base Wilsons are going on the F tier. Now, most of us were base Wilsons at one point or another, myself included, so let's not be too harsh on them, shall we? But seriously, stop scrolling TikTok or IG Reels and make your own damn meatballs. Next up, we have essentially an upgraded base Wilson. These guys are what I like to call the base sitters. You'll usually catch the base sitters playing Worley, Wickerbottom, or in very rare occasions, Willow, thanks to her firefighting nature. Base sitters will, you guessed it, tend to stay at base 24/7, but unlike the base Wilsons, these guys pull their weight. They'll do a little bit of everything, farming, gathering resources, cooking, but most of the time they're yelling at others because they ruin their perfect chest organization. As a side note, I'm very sorry, base sitters. I love and appreciate what you do, but this is what my average base looks like, so yeah. Anyways, my experience with these guys is that they are vital to any group, and without them, bases tend to become just a bunch of crap on the floor. So I would rank them in S tier. You want a base sitter in your group. You may get scolded constantly, but it's oh so worth it. Next up, we have a subcategory of base sitters, and these are what I like to call the farmers. You'll catch them specifically playing either Wormwood, Wickerbottom, or rarely Wurt, but they'll only play Wurt in conjunction with another stereotype that we'll go over a little bit later. And straight up, all these guys ever do is farm. It's like a challenge to them to keep everyone fed with plants alone. They know every single crop combo by heart and will get very, very angry if a non-farmer Wickerbottom messes up their giant ratio with their horticulture book. Even if the time saved is theoretically better than waiting for the giant crops, you don't understand, they need those giants. Despite what you may believe, Wigford mains actually love these guys. Not only do they provide her with endless meatball filler, they also tend to not enjoy combat, giving her even more purpose. My experience with these guys has only ever been good, but I'll admit they aren't as vital as the more generalized base sitters, since these guys tend to get messy with their seeds cluttering all of the fridges. Still A tier though, I do enjoy the limitless food. Next up, we have the Swamp Dwellers. These guys don't purposefully dwell in the swamp, more so they are just trying to maximize their main character, which is Wurt. Now, I was trying not to include one character stereotypes on this list, but this one is just so common that I just had to throw it on here. Whenever a wurt joins your game, 70% of the time they'll do this. Beeline for the swamp, and you'll never see them again until it's time to fight a boss. The other 30% are the farmers who live within the swamp empire. Sometimes they'll try to help out the main base, but tend to get bullied away when they log off and cause chaos at base for the 50th time. I don't interact with the swamp dwellers much, but due to the fact that wurt's armies tend to decimate bosses, I've gotta put them in at least C tier. I'd be lying though if I said it wasn't kinda sad that, you know, if you had a wurt friend, they kinda can't live with you to maximize themselves. It's kinda sad. Speaking of bosses though, you're probably surprised this wasn't earlier on the list. Well, it's the boss rushers. You'll catch them playing either Wolfgang, Wanda, or Maxwell, but more commonly you'll catch them playing all three in a group to maximize their effectiveness. These are your speedrunners. The minute they join your server, every boss has already been slain. It's not a matter of if that boss will be defeated, more so a matter of when. And win tends to be pretty freaking soon. Usually any world they join is already post rifts after a few hours. And they are a great way to see rift content if you are a new player who doesn't want to fight the bosses. But if you have any plans to fight the bosses, then good luck. Because in order to enjoy a boss fight with a boss rusher, you must be one yourself. Otherwise, you'll always end up just becoming prepared for, say, the Dragonfly fight, when the rushers are already done defeating Ancient Fuel Weaver and are done with the game. I have a few of these guys in my community, and while they do gatekeep a lot of gameplay or sometimes advance the world way faster than the OG players can keep up with, they also are generally always really helpful, and never mind hard carrying other people. A solid A tier stereotype. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this, but like 99% of boss rushers have every attack pattern memorized. These beasts can practically no-hit the entire game, most of the time. Next up, we have the helpful noob. These guys are brand spanking new to the game, but instead of going down the ways of the base Wilson, they had friends who were ready to coach them in the ways of Don't Starve Together. You'll find them playing very noob-friendly, high-value characters that they were told were good by their friends, such as Willow, Windy, Wartox, or even Woody. They aren't good at combat, and will usually always prefer to take on a support role in any altercations, or in the case of the Woodies, pop their Weremoose idol and pray, but they're learning, so it's okay. Unfortunately, not many players make it past this stereotype due to the fact that they will most likely only play with the carry support of their friends. But one thing's for sure, it's always so nice seeing new players enjoy this game, even if only temporary. B tier. Hey, they could have been a base Wilson, give them some slack for trying. Moving on, we have the griefers. You'll find these guys playing as Willow, Woody, and Weber. Sometimes you'll have micro-griefers who do annoying but ultimately harmless things, like a Willow lighting your science machine and putting the fire out to stop you from opening a gift, which, while painfully annoying, is ultimately not that bad. Or you'll have potentially world-ending griefers, like Webers who get so many spiders the server crashes, or they log off in the middle of base with a spider army, causing it to become inhospitable. Or Woody's tail slapping as much of a base as they can before they get banned from the server. You can and should always hate these guys. They are the reason we no longer have the old Bell and Don't Starve Together. F tier. I would take 1 million base Wilsons over these guys. Next up, we have the Loreheads. These guys barely, if ever, play the actual game, and instead only follow it because of the intricate and insane lore that Clay has formulated for it. They care more about the transmission updates than they do actual game updates, and the only time you'll ever see them in-game is to look at character quotes and interactions. They're enjoying the game their own way, and I respect that. I'll give them B tier. Mostly because I just haven't personally met one yet, but I know they're out there. Every game has them, Don't Starve Together isn't an exception. Oh yeah, also these guys really love skins, and you'll hardly ever see them rocking default characters. Next up, we have the co-op player. These guys are the polar opposite of the solo players, and you will only see them playing with others. They tend to choose their character based on the needs of their group, and once their group stops playing the game, they will either look for a new group in a public server, or sadly, they may stop playing the game entirely. They absolutely refuse to play the game alone, either out of boredom or because it's straight up a less pleasant experience solo. I understand it, Don't Starve Together really isn't built for one person, so B tier. Next up, we have one that I sort of didn't want to add to this list, but felt inclined due to the fact that it's such a large majority of the player base. Well, not a large majority, but there's a sizable amount of them. And these are the mod enjoyers. Whether it's island adventures because they miss those shipwrecked vibes, or uncompromising mode because they think the game's way too easy, or just vanilla with sprinkles, you'll always find these guys with full mod lists. Now, me personally, I think the modding scene of Don't Starve Together is a bit lackluster when compared to other, usually larger games like RimWorld, but that doesn't mean that mods aren't good in this game. While I personally don't choose to play modded most of the time, you'll never catch me blaming those who do. A tier. You do you, my friend. Next up, we have a dying breed in the world of Don't Starve, the PvPers. Now, it's no secret that PvP is ridiculously unbalanced and totally fair. In fact, you'll only find this player probably playing the more well-made PvP focus mods, like the one I'm showing on screen now, rather than a PvP-enabled default world, due to how atrocious the PvP meta is. Despite hosting many PvP-enabled worlds, I don't actually believe I have met a true pure PvPer, so I'm gonna put them in the I don't know category. Sorry, Clay doesn't care about you guys. At least Deathmatch is still a banger mod. Let's go back to Don't Starve Together for something a little more lighthearted, the team player. Not to be mistaken with the co-op player. These guys strictly play support characters. They are usually the evolution of the co-op player if they decide to go the public server route. They don't care who they play with, whether it's their friends or regular random people, they just want to support a team. They are very, very selfless, and will prioritize other people's lives over theirs. Some people may worry that they are having no fun, but they find feeling useful the most fun thing of all. Although they may not be the most knowledgeable on game mechanics, they are awesome to have around. S tier. Next up, we have the scaredy cat. These guys will play with their friends and will generally pick whatever their friends tell them in terms of character. And before a boss fight, the scaredy cat will play like a totally average player. When the group mobilizes and prepares for a boss fight though, the scaredy cat goes along. And you may notice certain patterns that give this player away. They'll hang back in boss fights despite taking almost no hits, or they'll circle around the boss while the others are fighting. Why? Well, I have no clue. They just do sometimes. Eventually, once they learn that death is meaningless in this game and armor is OP, they may graduate, but as it stands, just hold F, man. Everyone else is doing it, and you'll have a lot more fun. D tier. Next up, we have the hardcore casual player. You know, those people complaining about riffs and post-riff content? This is them. They absolutely hate anything even remotely related to endgame content, and they hate min-maxing. They hate optimizing things, and they just want to boot up Don't Starve, play a few days or even a season, and then come back next week to repeat the cycle. They don't care about maximizing Pearl's questline or speedrunning riffs to get that sweet gear, and they really dislike that Clay has focused primarily on endgame content, and really want more early to mid-game content. And I respect them, you know, as a single player enthusiast, but I can also understand why Clay cares about extending the endgame since it's naturally the easiest thing to expand on. I'll give you guys B tier. You know, being more of a casual myself. This next one is one I've only heard in passing and never seen myself, but I know how games work and I know for a fact they exist in Don't Starve. The role players. Now again, I have no personal experience with these guys in Don't Starve, but I've met many in other games, and role players are generally pretty chill. There are a few bad apples who take things like fail RP insanely serious and will scold people for not knowing what's going on. I don't have enough knowledge on what the scene looks like though in Don't Starve Together, so I'll just cop out and give them. Next up, we have the people who didn't leave a like on this video and subscribe. Alright, we're almost done, I swear. I just had to do my YouTube mandated e-begging. Anyways, next up we have the min-maxers. And unlike most of the other stereotypes, these guys won't play just one character. Much like their names insist, they do absolutely everything they can to squeeze as much value out of their characters as possible. That means they'll swap Wickerbottom for Maxwell after making all of her books, they'll set up farms as Winona, they'll create autonomous empires as Wirt for easy boss farming. These guys don't care. As long as there's insane value to be had, they will get it. They tend to play solo since they feel other people may mess with their plans. I respect them, they do way too much, but I'm gonna give them B tier. Next up we have, well, okay, this one's kind of a self-burn, the Dizzy one. This person, whether because they have ADHD and absolutely have to be doing something at all times, or lie to themselves and say they get more information by doing it, cannot stop rotating their screen. This causes them to get lost, irritate their friends, and of course, get you made fun of on YouTube. Yeah, I'm one of them. And it's a surprisingly hard, unhealthy habit to break. But I can agree that it's both annoying to witness and be a part of. D tier. Sorry, me. Next up, we have the Wiki Reader. These guys have the wiki open on either a second monitor, tab, or device at all times. You wouldn't catch them dead without their pocket infinite scrapbook. In fact, they probably forgot the scrapbook even exists. Well, that's okay, because you did too, don't lie. Really, when's the last time you opened that thing? Anyways, their rating depends on which type of wiki they use. Do they subject themselves to the hell that is fandom, or are they wiki.gg enjoyers? Well, either way, they're useful to have around, so I'll merge the two and say B tier. Next up, we have the Lost. Moment of silence please for those in this category. Just kidding, I need that attention maxing that YouTube loves so much. These are players who were once among us, but sadly no longer are. Maybe they keep up with the game and tell themselves that one day they'll come back, but never do, and that person may be you, but hey, you had your fun, you played the game, most likely got your money's worth due to the ridiculously low price that this game is, and said you're done. Whether willingly or unwillingly, you're still an absolute W for being here, A tier. Finally, we have our last two stereotypes that go hand in hand with each other, starting with the stat maxer. These guys absolutely hate having one or more of their stats being below half, and will do everything in their power to treat their little constant character better than they treat themselves in real life. You'll catch them actually making jerky, or cooking good foods instead of shoveling down the 50th meatball on empty, and I understand why they do it, so I'm gonna give them C tier. Only because they also tend to hog resources keeping themselves maxed, which lowers their ranking dramatically. On the opposite side of the spectrum, and our final entry to this list, we have the doesn't care. These guys are always insane, always close to starving, and always close to death. And guess what? They don't care. As long as they have over 1 HP, they can win the game, and that's all that matters. So what if the screen is desaturated and looks disgusting? Doesn't bother them. The only reason I'm giving these guys D tier is strictly because in public servers, their insanity will cause so many nightmare creatures to spawn at base, thus lowering everyone else's sanity. But hey, I can't be too harsh. I'm a hybrid of this, but with hunger. I absolutely love starving Wilson for some reason. I don't know, maybe I'm evil. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this fun and wacky and maybe even a little random video. It was a bit longer than I wanted, but I wanted to make sure I covered everything. If I missed one, or you just want to exclaim what stereotype your friends or you are, leave a comment down below. I promise, I'm still working on the Willow guide to continue the Ultimate Character Guide series, but it's a long one. Plus, I wanted to make sure to throw in some fun videos in between guides, because I know there's plenty of you out there who don't even need guides anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat some monster lasagna or something. See ya, everyone.